Alright, so I guess this is part 4. This is turning into quite the little series, I guess. But I'd rather you guys know the guy behind the camera than wonder, right? So I don't know what else to really talk about right at the moment. I'm really looking forward to getting back to work. I absolutely love my job, like I said. Like, it's my calling for sure. I was born and raised in the Ottawa Valley here, and my family has been big into boats and stuff. Boats and, you know, just being a sportsman in general. Hunting, fishing, four-wheeling, snowmobiling, all that stuff. So it's kind of surreal to be able, like, my grandmother has a little tourist camp up on Golden Lake. Some of you guys might be watching from the Realtree forums, or might even be some of the guests that come up to my grandma's place, McMillan's Cabins on Golden Lake. Check out the website. I'll link it in the description. So yeah, I was born in Pembroke, Ontario, and raised in Arnprior, which is it's about 25 minutes from where I live. A little bit, basically north of where I live. It's right on the Quebec border. The Ottawa River separates Ontario and Quebec, and just like the St. Lawrence separates the United States and Canada, Ontario and New York. So, and then, you know, all the other states and provinces once you get further east. Every weekend we would go up to Golden Lake, which is about an hour from Arnprior, hour and 25 minutes from my house, every weekend growing up. And I could basically drive a boat when I was, I don't know, can't even remember when I started driving a boat, and it was an old 18 horsepower Evinrude Sportsman, I think they were called, or Fastman maybe, from the, I would say, 61, 62, and we called it the old 18, and it's bringing back some memories. My dad would drive on the starboard side, and I'd sit on the port side and reach over, and he'd let me take the handle at a very young age, probably 5 or 6 years old. So I have a lot more than the 8 years experience with boating than just in my career. So mind you, it was only a 14-foot boat, not a 60-foot boat or a 50-foot boat or whatever, but same sort of thing, I guess. It floats, right? So, and at a very young age, basically as soon as I could change the spark plugs on our old 1977 Ski-Doo TNT, I could tell when it was running on one cylinder, and you know, it was just a simple 340 air-cooled two-stroke. I could change the spark plugs when I was basically as soon as I could loosen the plugs out of the cylinder head. So, not trying to toot my own horn here at all. It's just I have quite a bit of experience with a wide variety of different stuff when it comes to mechanics. So, feel free to ask me anything, and I'll try my best to help you. I'll respond to your comments, or I plan on doing a Facebook page for the channel by itself. I don't really want to bring my personal page onto the channel as much as I can. Obviously, some of you guys know me, but just to keep it separate from, you know, I'd like to have my family life and work life and YouTube life kind of blended, but separated at the same time, if you know what I mean. So this weekend I'm going to work on a Facebook page, I think. Give me something to do anyway, if I have any time. I like to spend as much time as I can with my family while I can, because pretty soon here I'll be back to work, and I leave the house at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not home until 6 o'clock at least at night at the very earliest, and in the busy times after 7. So I want to take this time between now and when I go back to work full time and enjoy it with my family as much as possible. So we'll see how this video turns out. It's dark. now. The sun's gone, but this new phone of mine, I just got it this week. It's a Samsung A71, and it is absolutely incredible. The video quality and the picture quality is incredible, like I said. I think the front camera, what you're looking through now, is 32 megapixel, and the front-facing camera, like the selfie cam, is 16. So I had an S8 before, and it was a 16 on the front camera and an 8 on the selfie camera. I think I might be wrong, but it's it'll wash the floor with an S8. So very happy to be, and it's also got 128 gigabyte of RAM. So I'll be able to not be so careful on how long I'm recording and be able to upload them to YouTube and then just get the content off my phone to save my memory, right? So, and eventually I'll add maybe introduction or whatever, but I want to keep it as simple as possible. Like, I don't want to have to spend hours at night, my family time, editing videos and uploading, and I still want my family life. So what you're going to see is going to be pretty much uncut. I'll try and keep the language as clean as possible, but if you're a mechanic or anybody you know is a mechanic, you know we don't have the cleanest language in the world at times. So if I do slip my tongue, I'm sorry. I'll try and edit it out or beep it or something, but I can turn it off pretty quick. So this will be a test, and also just good practice to maybe clean the language up in general, especially at home around the kids and stuff. I try to be on my best behavior on language and stuff, because you don't want them going to school and repeating what Daddy says. Say goodbye and stuff, but I'm just letting the camera roll. I want to I'll just let it roll all the way home. About, I don't know, 5 minutes from the house here, so I'll just let it roll the rest of the way, and if I think of anything, I'll start chatting again. And I just mainly want to see the lighting content on my video. I can't really obviously pay attention and drive, pay attention to my phone and drive, I should say. I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing, obviously, but be interesting to see the footage and also the audio, because this truck, it has dual exhaust. It's just a catback, so it's not too loud unless you goose it, obviously. But I'm not sure how it's going to resonate off it may not work at all. I might have to get a RAM mount or something to be able to utilize a mic or an external mic or something to be able to do this properly, but we'll see. I've been watching a lot of, I'll tell you what I like on YouTube. Shout out to some of my long-term fans, or I'm a fan of them, I should say. And you never know, they might become a fan of this channel too. So I started off YouTube. Eric the Car Guy is probably my first channel that I got into, and he basically started off like this too. And honestly, I don't really have a goal for this channel. It's more something to do. I've always wanted to do this kind of stuff, but never really had the confidence to get behind the camera. So I seem to be doing better than I thought I'd do. So bear with me. I'll get better. Might stumble a bit on my words and stuff, but you know, it's unedited content. So this is the real world of YouTube, we could call it. And then once I get, I only have 11 subscribers right now as of, February 26, 2021. So it would be interesting to see in a year how many subscribers I have, and if the channel even takes off, if anyone takes interest in it, great. If not, that's okay too. I'll have fun just making videos for reference, for my apprentice or fellow techs. I plan on doing, I love anything that's really hard to diagnose, that's really challenging. I love jumping in and kind of grabbing it by the horns and diagnosing it and fixing it. I have a mindset I'll fix anything, so it might take a little while to figure it out, especially some of the electronics these days are extremely advanced. Marine marine is about, we were chatting with this today, the guy at work, and I find marine is generally about 15 years behind automotive in technology. Like, we're still using CAN bus and like our communications on our digital throttle and shift engines, like we call it fly-by-wire. So like this Formula boat that is coming up, it's fly-by-wire. Like, there's no throttle cable, there's no shift cable, everything is done just like a car. Like this truck, I'm pushing on a potentiometer, which is reporting to the PCM how much throttle I'm requesting, and the PCM decides how much throttle to give it. So whenever I talked about torque management earlier, I can push the pedal right to the floor on a stock vehicle, and the throttle may not open 100%. It's going to open gradual to prevent, squealing the tires and stuff like that, right? So with the torque management deleted, it's basically like having a throttle cable, but it's still electronic. It takes all the buffering out of it, right? So then I am in control of my throttle, not the computer. Well, it still is, but you know what I mean. You feel more, feels more like an old truck as for throttle response and stuff. So this is Almont here. As I said, in the first little part, James Naismith, he was born and raised in Almont, Ontario, and it's actually just up this road another few miles here. Well, actually, I'll go up around the block and I'll come back down on Clayton Road here. I won't go right down to the house, obviously, right now because it's dark and you can't see anything anyway, but you'll see the little historical sign of where the inventor of basketball was raised, basically. So it's pretty cool. Like, you don't really even think about it until, like, basketball's not that big in Canada. We more like hockey and what else do we do? Baseball, hockey, golf in the summer, obviously. But basketball and football, like we have the CFL, Canadian Football League. I like it. A little bit different rules than the NFL. But honestly, I really don't watch TV. Like, the only quote unquote TV I like to watch is YouTube, and that's that's all my channels. Like, I like anything with an engine, really. So Eric the Car Guy was cool to see progress. Like, I basically watched him right from the start. What an incredible story, and to see, Eric, how far you've gone in the past, I don't know how long you've been on YouTube, probably 10 years at least, I would think. You have, whatever, 1.5 million subscribers. Like, it'd be really cool to be like that in 10 years from now. It might be Sean the Boat Guy instead of Eric the Car Guy, so you never know. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. That's fine too. I'm not going to say Sean the Boat Guy either. I'll just keep it original. Ottawa Valley Outdoors, that's what I'm about. So yeah, up here, there's a blue sign on the right. You might be able to see, I'm going to turn left here, but right on the right, right in the picture there's a blue sign that says Dr. James Naismith Historical Site. So that's where he was raised. Just turning left on Clayton Road here. I live in this general area. If you're from Eastern Ontario, you'll likely recognize this. Another bumpy road, so I'm just going to turn the camera off here. It only gets bumpier from here once I turn onto my road, so. Well, that was kind of neat. It turned out, honestly, I was just going to chat for a few minutes and kind of introduce myself and tell you what I was going to do, and I ended up chatting about my career history and how I got here and why I did it. I haven't really got into why I switched from automotive to marine, but that can be another video. My internet at home is slow as molasses in January. In Canada, it wouldn't be as slow as molasses in January in Florida, but up here that's an expression we use because it can get as cold as 40 below zero up here. So you could imagine turning a carton of molasses over in 40 below zero and see how fast it pours out. It'd be like gear oil. Basically a solid form at that temperature. So yeah. Alright guys, well, great chatting with you guys. It killed the drive home. It went by so fast. So maybe we'll do this more, just maybe once a week. Do I don't know, a little series called Vlogging with Sean or something like that. I don't know. I'm open for suggestions, and I can take content and questions and answer them on my way home. That's the perfect time to do it because I have almost an hour commute, so we'll give it a shot. See what happens, you never know. Alright guys, well, thanks for coming along on this little autobiography of my career anyway. A little bit of my lifestyle too, but as you can see, the roads are terrible up here. And that is because the snow melts in the spring. The water gets into the cracks in the road and then it freezes and expands, and that causes potholes. So it's like driving on a washboard up here, especially in the spring. Once the spring thaw comes out and then the pavement starts to settle again, it's a rough ride to work. So I might have to get a ram mount, or you guys will be getting seasick just watching the content. So anyways, I'll say bye for the third time now, I guess. And like, subscribe, share with your friends, share on Facebook, all that good stuff, and let's see if we can get this channel off the ground. Thanks guys, take care, have a good weekend.